Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. Okay, so a few things. I'm most likely going to be stopping in Dakota's live stream, Sports Card Anonymous, on Friday. Obviously, we don't agree on everything. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I do think that, dialogue is necessary, right? Whether or not you agree with me or him, just check it out. Also, I will be most likely doing a podcast or live stream on Saturday night with the Sports Card Radio brothers. So that's going to be really entertaining, guys. So hide your wife, hide your kids, and get your popcorn, all right? So it should be slated, I think, for 10 p.m. Central. So yeah, it's a different time, but make sure to check that out. All right, and Dakota's is, I think, 8 p.m. Central. I don't know when I'm going to go on live Friday. I'll probably have better details. I'll post it all on Instagram. So this video may ruffle feathers, but once again, I'm not here for people to watch my videos for confirmation bias. If you're here for confirmation bias, this is not the right channel for you. I just say whatever I want based on the information that I have, right? And here's the thing, pump and dump, and this is a question, not an accusation, did CardPod talk? I think that's what they are. It has a few people. One notably is Card Collector 2. And I think Gary V's company has some sort of sponsorship, or they finance. I don't know. It's some sort of affiliation with one of Gary V's company. And here is what I first saw. Actually, it was Pancake Analytics, so shout out to him. Make sure to follow him. He follows a lot of TCG market. We always talk about, potential hanky-panky that's going down. And we do this, on the side. This is not our main thing. We have corporate jobs. So during the day, we're still, DMing each other about, hey, something funk is going on. Previous videos, I believe that there was shill bidding going on with the zero review pumpers, right? Zero review people bidding it up. Few of these have already been relisted, and I expect more of these to be relisted, right? When you have zero reviews, the normal pattern that I've seen, such as with Patrick Mahomes, and also zero cool cards earlier this year, they're not paid, they're relisted, and it shows weakness, in my opinion, right? When you run out of buyers, it's hard to keep the price at that level. So I was looking at that. Now, what was quite interesting, Pancake Analytics, he sent me a DM yesterday. He said that, hey, this looks suspicious. And once again, I'm asking questions on what happened here, okay? So about 4 weeks ago, you had them post Lorcana cards, right? It was graded by SGC. And the thing is that there's nothing wrong in posting cards that you get graded, right? Now, whose video was this, right? Was it theirs? Did they have some other person that had that video and they sent it to them? I don't know that. I'd like to see who actually owned those cards. And the reason why I say that is because they had I think another video discussing Lorcana.
What I didn't make a play on was the Disney Lorcana cards, if I'm being super honest.
These were given out at some Disney event, Lou.
D23.
It's essentially their annual event. Now all these companies host their own events where they put on pretty much their own showcase of their own products for advertisers, large like wholesalers, etc. So D23 is where they show off their like innovations and new stuff, lineup of new shows, new toy products, advancements in theme parks, new IP. That's where they do that so that they can kind of control the narrative. It's put on by themselves. So that's what D23 is, and that's where they launched that.
So Todd, these Lorcana cards, right? You said there's only 900 of them. Were they given out for free, entire sets, one per person? Like, how does it work?
Every single person who was there got a Mickey Mouse card. The sets were available for $50 for purchase.
$50?
The latest just did $4,750 on eBay. Set of 6.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we did a whole bit on it. We made no plays.
I remember. I just like, it's crazy that it blew up then. You were like, yeah, these are interesting now, and now they're even more interesting. I mean, $4,750, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I think like just to like be honest, like everything else, I think the game doesn't come out for like a year, so I would expect these to cool off pretty dramatically soon, and then probably heat back up. But
the thing is, though, if there's really only 900, there are real big time Disney collectors out there, and this thing could get interesting.
Now, I'm an accountant, and I look at conflict of interest, segregation of duties is very vital for my profession. And this is not me being against capitalism or anything like that. No, it has to deal with conflict of interest. This industry has many conflicts of interest, especially in a market that is unregulated. And I'm not a fan of big government, but if there's hanky-panky conflict of interest going on in a regulated market, what happens in a market that is relatively untouched by the government? You could expect a lot of conflict of interest. And where I believe a potential conflict of interest may arise here is these cards, from my understanding, were sent to PWCC shortly after. I believe in an auction 2 weeks ago it ended. I think Slabstock mentioned this. So if there are any details that are incorrect, let me know down below. I'm just going based on what I have come up with on my own and also Pancake Analytics. And I was trying to verify the sale on PWCC just to see, hey, Slabstock, telling the truth. I couldn't find it on PWCC. And Pancake and I were like, hey, what's going on here? So I reached out to Slabstock, and they showed, hey, the screenshot of the sale on PWCC. So they may be looking at different features on PWCC, or I know they're involved in, I think, putting data together on their own website. So they may have a different feature than, guys like me. Regardless, he showed me the sale. Now, what I would probably have done differently than Slabstock, he could run his thing however he wants, is that he said that the set sold for X amount of dollars. I think there were individual cards that sold. It wasn't sold as a set. So that's one thing to know. Now, regarding the conflict of interest, right? You show all these cards on your IG, right? You talk about it on your, IG. I don't know if they have another site for their podcast. Regardless, they're showing it. They tag, I believe, a bunch of people associated with the podcast and I think Gary Vee's company. And then a few weeks later, it appears to be selling on PWCC. Now, no rule has been broken, right? But at the same time, if you're using your platform with thousands and thousands of followers, I believe the video with the Lorcana cards got, I think, 6,000 views, right? That's a lot of people watching. And then all of a sudden, it's on PWCC in 2 weeks, right? So my question is, were they using their platform to artificially hype up that market? And was it anyone's cards in Gary Vee's company? That's what I'd like to know. Now, once again, there's no rule that's broken, but me from the accounting side, there could be a conflict of interest, right? I talked to Dan, the card man, the other day. I believe he would think that there is a conflict of interest. And here's the thing. On eBay, like I mentioned, for Lorcana cards, there was shill bidding going on, right? And when I see that shill bidding going on, prices will most likely go lower. That shows me weakness, that there aren't enough buyers for that. And then when I see posts saying that, hey, strong sale on PWCC on slab stock, or I think that's what it's called. And then, 4 weeks before, you had the guys on CardTalk discussing this and then showing the cards, and all of a sudden it's sold, right? In my opinion, in a market that has low volume and not enough disclosures, that appears to me a huge red flag. Now, once again, it may have been someone else's cards, right? Someone else's video that was given to them. I don't know. But for me, when I see stuff like that, I think that is, people maybe trying to take advantage of the hype cycle and trying to potentially dump that product on their audience which I believe without proper disclosure that it is being sold on PWCC. And then all of a sudden you see, another Instagram account, which I don't think has any relationship with CardPod Talk, and saying, hey, strong sale, right? And then people may end up buying that, right? Now, and they may be left holding the bag. So the way that I see it is, when you're buying or speculating in a card, yes, it is on you to, do the due diligence. But once again, we have an industry that says, be positive, don't question anything, and look the other way. And I'm like, hey, we got to ask questions. We got to ask tough questions. We got to, forget about what the industry says about being negative. You got to analyze from an unbiased point of view. And I believe that if the CardPod Talk guys, if one of them was actually using the platform to hype up this market, I think that is pretty bad. That's a bad look on whoever did that, right? Hopefully that's not the case, right? Maybe it was somebody else, right? And they're just talking about it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't think there's enough disclosure there. And this is the hype cycle. This is what gets people burned. And this is what, makes, in my opinion, people either leave the hobby or, they're going to not talk very positively of the hobby. And in my opinion, if there was hanky-panky, it needs to be called out, right? And it could be a learning lesson for some people out there. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.